Nako po mga kababayan, breaking news po ito. Talagang nakakita na po ng katapat ang mayabang na ICC. The International Criminal Court ay talagang meron ng inihahandang libingan. Ang huling hantungan mga kababayan, Amerika na si President Donald Trump at si Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu. Kaya pala nagalit itong si Donald Trump. Ito po mga kababayan yung pasabog. Naku, magugulat kayo. Ito po yung title. Why the Netanyahu arrest warrant could mean the end of the ICC. Naku, mga kababayan, ito na. Nabanggit din dito mga kababayan si PRRD sa vlog na ito. Na itong ICC na ito is just proof na ang kayang-kaya lang nila ay yung mahihina at ginagawa nilang negosyo. And they are not thinking about the humanity. It's just only thinking to full their pockets, mga kababayan. So ito po, ang magiging huling libingan ng ICC. Ito na, Donald Trump, may matinding pasabog. Di ba kahapon pinakita ko sa inyo yung mga revelation ng mga ICC judge na si Kimberly Pros, si Luz Ibanez na isang Peruvian na talagang umiiyak, na close yung mga account nila, na freeze, hindi po makabili man lang ng ng gamit sa TikTok, sabon, pagkain, Grab, taxi. So ngayon po ito, matinding paliwanag po ito ng W News na merong subscriber na 6.9 million. Matindi ang explanation na ito kasi the deeper reason beyond the end of the ICC. This is the end of the ICC, mga kababayan ko. Meron bang epekto sa pagkakakulong kay PRRD? Naku, napakalaki po, mga kababayan. Sa mangyayaring ito, malamang mapipilitan nila na pakawalan si PRRD. Kasi kung wala ng resources, ang ICC at talagang pinutol na, mga kababayan, kasi naman gusto nilang kalabanin si Donald Trump na isa sa mga makapangyarihan na bansa, at itong si Netanyahu gusto nilang arestuhin pati si Putin. So ngayon mga kababayan, ito na. Hindi ko na papatagalin pa, matinding pasabog po ito. Magko-comment po tayo after the video, mga kababayan. At tapusin nyo ito kasi mahalagang panoorin nyo. Kasi talagang matindi ang revelation na ito. Ang huling libingan o ang magiging libingan ng ICC dumating na. Nako po, delikado. Ito na po.
This is a list of people indicted by the International Criminal Court. Until 2022, every person on this list was an African national. The court was meant to be a standard bearer for criminal justice around the world. Yet over the years, it gained a reputation as the policeman of Africa, sitting in the heart of Europe. That era seemed to be over when the ICC recently issued a series of arrest warrants against powerful leaders outside of Africa, including against a close US ally, the Israeli Prime Minister. But US lawmakers are now threatening to cripple the court with sanctions.
Now it's Israeli officials. Tomorrow it could be American.
It wasn't conceived to come after us.
Some might say this moment was a long time coming, that powerful countries were never going to submit to the ICC's authority. But that begs the question, how can you have international justice if only the powerless can be prosecuted?
It's very clear that if the ICC fails, if it doesn't implement these arrest warrant, then this would be the final nail in its coffin.
The ICC hasn't been around.
Nakita nyo mga kababayan? Pati po si Kamir Khan ay nagsalita na po na pag hindi daw ibinaba ng ICC ang arrest warrant kay Netanyahu, this will be the end of the ICC era, mga kababayan. Matindi po ito eh. Isipin nyo, ituloy natin na magandang issue ito.
Around that long. It was in 1998 that 120 countries of the United Nations voted to adopt the Rome Statute. That treaty capped a decade in which two major conflicts in Rwanda and in the former Yugoslavia ended with international tribunals that successfully prosecuted individuals for war crimes and crimes against humanity.
This will be no victor's tribunal. The only victor that will prevail in this endeavor is the truth.
The ICC was created as a way to make this kind of institution permanent. Its first hearing was in 2006.
After the Cold War, it was as part of this increase in international institutions and courts. And so it's still a relatively young institution. It's never completely found its feet.
From the beginning, it was opposed by world powers like the US and China and later Russia, who saw it as a threat to their sovereignty.
Rest assured that the men and women of the United States Armed Forces will never appear before the ICC.
But it was supported by many smaller countries, especially in Africa.
Prior to 1998, African states, perhaps also because of their history, genocides on the continent, conflicts here and there, characterized by mass atrocities, they were rightly appalled and supported initiatives that they felt could bring justice and also help combat impunity, not only for Africa and Africans, but also for the entire world.
The first two ICC cases were referred to the court by African countries themselves, like Thomas Lubango Diallo, a Congolese warlord arrested in 2006 in connection with the killing of 6 UN peacekeepers. He was the first person arrested on a warrant from the court. But a turning point came when the ICC opened an investigation into the Darfur conflict in Sudan. The case had been referred by the UN Security Council, and it led to an arrest warrant issued in 2009, not against a warlord, but against the president of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir. It was the first indictment of a sitting head of state, and Sudan and its allies saw this as a violation of sovereignty.
When the warrant of arrest was issued against Omar al-Bashir and other African leaders, the response of the collective West as such was that, well, yes, they should be arrested. They can't have immunity because this is the most serious crime.
Yet countries outside of Africa seem to be shielded from investigation. When the UN Security Council attempted to refer potential crimes in the Syrian civil war to the ICC in 2014, the motion was vetoed by Russia and China. By 2016, at least 5 African countries had threatened to withdraw from the ICC, including South Africa and Kenya. They didn't feel it made sense to subject themselves to the court's authority if the rest of the world wasn't going to do the same.
Only African leaders are being arraigned before the ICC. And so Africa feels
with
targeted.
African support. With African
Fantastic.
support.
But some concerns have been raised by the African Union. And I think that the United Nations, the International Court of Justice, and the AU should dialogue and find out how they take on board the concerns raised by Africa.
But then, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and the focus of the ICC finally shifted away from Africa. From then until 2024, the majority of arrest warrants issued by the ICC were for Russian nationals, including the president himself, Vladimir Putin, for his alleged involvement in transferring Ukrainian children from occupied territory to Russia. He was by far the most powerful person ever sought by the court. Leaders and officials across Europe welcomed the move.
Hit me with a fizz and none of the fuss. Make my world.
Nako po mga kababayan ko, eto na. Ano kayang mangyayari? Ano kaya ang magiging kapalaran ng ICC dito? Dumating na ba ang katapusan? Nakikita nyo naman mga kababayan, sinasanksyon na talaga ng Amerika. Na ramdam po nila yung parusa po. Ngayon po mga kababayan, sabi nga ni Donald Trump, if you continue to arrest Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, it might be you are in danger and the ICC will demolish or they are gone. Nako po, delikado ito. Ito na ba ang karma, mga kababayan? Ito na ba ang panahon? Kasi malaking epekto nito kay PRRD, mga kababayan. Kung totally ma-demolish na itong ICC, malamang makakalaya si PRRD. Ay, sabi dito, Trump sanction ICC for targeting US and Israel. Isipin nyo. They thought that the ICC is the most powerful and the righteous one. They has or have the right to arrest every people or every country that they think that they did wrong to the humanity, mga kababayan. Kita nyo si PRRD, na politika lang ito. Ang ICC naman, walang alam ito, basta kung ano lang yung mga nagagather nila na misleading information, yung mga disinformation regarding kay PRRD, na ito daw ay naging kriminal sa mga inosente. How about the victim, mga kababayan, ng mga kriminal? Yan, ginawa ng mga kalaban ni PRRD para mabuwag ang mga Duterte. Pinondohan nila ng trilyon, mga kababayan. Ayun. Nalabag ang soberanya ng Pilipinas at yung korte ng Pilipinas tila nabaliwala. And the due process of law ay nawala po dito. Napagkaitan ng karapatan si PRRD na maipagtanggol ang kanyang sarili. Ang nangyari, basta tinanggap ng ICC, ayun, allegedly, itong ICC na ito, they receiving yung mga bribe. Mga kababayan, nakita nyo po, tumatanggap sila ng pera galing po sa bansa kung saan yung kalaban na politiko ay ipapaaresto. Unlike today, mga kababayan ko, nakita nyo naman. Meron nga akong nakita yung ikinanta ni Saldico, pumunta sa simbahan, may daladalang maletang itim, inabot kay Pader. Kaya pala maingay ti Pader. Tumatanggap din pala ng donasyon sa mga buhaya, maleta kitang-kita. So, ipapakita natin, susunod na content, magugulat kayo. Kaya pala itong mga paring ito ay todo kanta laban kay Sara Duterte kasi binubusog po sila ng mga buhaya. Sakit, no, mga kababayan? Yung simbahan ini-impluwensyahan ng mga korap ngayon just to talk against the Duterte. Kita nyo yung Father Flaviano, ng isang addictus na kumanta. Abay, kinasuhan si Sara ng plunder. Betrayal of public trust daw. Ito ba? Tuloy natin. Ang katapusan ng ICC dumating na.
Recht und Gesetz, das ist ein ganz wichtiger Grundsatz des internationalen Rechts.
Obviously, we respect their judgment, we respect their independence.
This is an important decision of international justice and for the people of Ukraine.
And even the US, which voted against the creation of the ICC and has never become a member state, seemed to think it was a good idea to put Putin on trial.
Well, I think it's justified, but the question is, it's not recognized internationally by us either. But I think it makes a very strong point.
This may have been the peak of the ICC's popularity. It proved itself willing to pursue cases outside of Africa, and it did so with support from the US and Europe. The moment didn't last long. A few months later, Hamas and other Palestinian militants carried out the October 7th terror attack on Israel, killing at least 800 civilians. Israel responded with a siege of Gaza, killing some 40,000 people, most of them women and children. In May 2024, ICC prosecutor Karim Khan announced that he was seeking an arrest warrant for the leader of Hamas's military wing, Mohammed Deif. And for the first time in ICC's history, he also sought an arrest warrant for the elected leader of a major Western ally.
Nakita nyo, mga kababayan, O kaya pala itong si Netanyahu dahil po sa pagpapasabog sa Gaza, sa gera. So kinasuhan ng ICC ng crime against humanity like Duterte. So ngayon po, nung sinugod po ng mga kriminal o mga terorista yung Israel, anong ginawa ng ICC? Tahimik sila. 'Di ba sinugod ng mga terorista ng mga ISIS ang Israel at marami pong nangamatay. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali mga kababayan, umabot po ito ng daan-daan o libo. Dahil po biglang inambush po ng mga terorista yung Israel na kasalukuyang gumagawa ng celebration. Gaya dyan sa Bondi Beach or Bondi Beach na dalawang anti-Semitism ba ito mga kababayan na anti-Jews? Ayun. Talagang nagkaroon ng masakir, nagbababaril sa Bondi Beach na allegedly galing pa sa Pilipinas yung nag-training daw sila dito. Pinasinungalingan naman ng AFP na wala pong mga terrorist na galing dito. So ngayon itong si Prime Minister Netanyahu, balak nilang kasuhan at iparesto at si Putin, ayun, yari kayo ngayon. Sana makarma kayo. Ito na ba yung karma sa kanila? Nakala mo sino sila mga kababayan? Na they are the righteous one. Na they are the Supreme Court. The police of the world. Na kayang-kaya nila kahit anong tao na ipakulong nila. Gaya ni PRRD mga kababayan. Isa pong biktima ng political motivation or political harassment.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, along with his former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Israel and its allies condemned the court for drawing an apparent equivalency between Hamas's terror attack and the Israeli response.
Branding Israel's leaders and soldiers as war criminals will pour jet fuel on the fires of anti-Semitism.
U.S. lawmakers were outraged. Republicans are pushing a bill in Congress that would impose sanctions on ICC employees and anyone else who might help the court pursue the arrest of Netanyahu or Gallant.
We will give you no quarter.
And the incoming Donald Trump administration has already said that the ICC can expect a strong response. Some Republicans said they wouldn't stop at just sanctions. Here's a tweet from Senator Tom Cotton, a close ally of incoming President Donald Trump. The ICC is a kangaroo court and Karim Khan is a deranged fanatic. Woe to him and anyone who tries to enforce these outlaw warrants. Let me give them all a friendly reminder. The American law on the ICC is known as the Hague Invasion Act for a reason. Think about it. He's referring to the American Service Members Protection Act, also known as the Hague Invasion Act, passed by President George W. Bush in 2002. It authorizes the U.S. President to use all means necessary, including military action, to prevent the ICC from detaining an American citizen or a citizen of an allied country like Israel. The U.S. has threatened the ICC before, but the court's president said it's reached new levels.
The court is being threatened as if it was a terrorist organization.
So the U.S. is prepared to send troops to prevent any ICC member state from detaining Netanyahu and trying to send him to The Hague.
Nako po mga kababayan, delikado. Nandun pala sa batas ng Amerika na any one of the American citizen who arrested by the ICC, nandun pala sa batas ng Amerika na ginawa po ni former President W. Bush na pwedeng gamitan ng all kinds of necessary power. Gumamit ng pwersa militar para sugurin ang The Hague at girahin ito. Naku po mga kababayan ko, matindi po ito mga kababayan. Isa pong pagkakamali ng ICC na kalabanin si Netanyahu at si Putin at si Donald Trump dito. Nako, delikado na ang katapusan nyo, dumating na ang karma.
At the same time, Washington has assisted the ICC's efforts in Africa and has welcomed its case against Putin. So how do they justify this? Here's Senator Lindsey Graham again.
The Rome Statute was created to provide justice and a rule of law where there was none. Places like Russia, the deepest, darkest part of ungoverned Africa. And the Rome Statute doesn't apply to Israel or the United States or France or Germany or Great Britain, because it wasn't conceived to come after us. We have our legal systems in place.
The doctrine of a democratic exception is the centerpiece of U.S. opposition to the ICC.
Countries who are governed by the rule of law at home are inherently not subjected to the court's jurisdiction, according to this argument. And that because the rule of law has been destroyed at home in Russia by Vladimir Putin, then Russia is a country who might be subjected to that. The problem, of course, is that this becomes entirely self-serving. It's on the own say-so of any country whether they or their friends are sufficiently adhering to the rule of law such that an international court doesn't apply to them. And this is just not the way that international law works.
It's no surprise to legal scholars that the US and Israel don't approve of the Netanyahu indictment. A more worrying development for the court is that its biggest European supporters might be turning against it at a critical moment.
It really is an existential threat, though, if the countries in Europe who have been so behind the court have held themselves out as its leaders, if they now don't follow their basic obligations under the Rome Statutes to execute an arrest warrant for somebody who's had one issued against them by the prosecutor, then the whole project essentially stalls and may fail entirely.
France, one of the founders and biggest donors to the ICC, first voiced support for the arrest warrant against Netanyahu, then backtracked, claiming the court doesn't have jurisdiction over Israel. It's a claim, by the way, that the court rejects, since the alleged crimes were committed on Palestinian territory and the state of Palestine is a member. And here's how the German government spokesperson responded when asked if Berlin would oblige the ICC's arrest warrant for Netanyahu.
Ich könnte mich dazu hinreißen lassen, zu sagen, dass es mir schwerfällt, mir vorzustellen, dass wir auf dieser Grundlage Verhaftungen in Deutschland durchführen.
The modern German state in particular has built itself up as one of the strongest supporters of international justice over national interest. In the aftermath of World War II, the Allies set up a court in Nuremberg, Germany to prosecute Nazi crimes. This is where the modern concept of an international war tribunal comes from.
Ohne den Hauptkriegsverbrecherprozess in Nürnberg gäbe es den Internationalen Strafgerichtshof in Den Haag heute nicht. In Deutschland ebneten die Alliierten in Nürnberg den Weg zu einer nationalen juristischen Aufarbeitung der NS-Geschichte.
Germany has enshrined the ICC in its national law. It has a kind of anti-Hague Invasion Act, compelling Germany to cooperate with the ICC.
I would say that Germany, almost more than any other Western country, has held itself out as standing for international law. It's really at the core, it seems, of Germany's identity of how it relates to the world.
But another pillar of German foreign policy, also following from the Nazi murder of 6 million Jews, is its support for Israel. And Germany's principles are now on the line.
It didn't foresee the situation where its key ally, Israel, the leader of it, a democratic leader of Israel, would have an arrest warrant from the ICC. But in this case, Germany, if it doesn't comply with this, then brings down the whole structure of international law in the sense that it's something, a higher authority that can be appealed to over mere politics.
After 2 decades of prosecuting only Africans, The Hague is finally behaving like a truly global court. But that could be its downfall.
It would be difficult for the courts to issue another arrest warrant for an African leader or any leader from the global south if it cannot follow through the arrest warrant it has issued for Vladimir Putin or Benjamin Netanyahu.
If the ICC disappeared, the world's most powerful countries, Russia, China, and the US, would probably call it a win for sovereignty. The end of the provocative idea that a court in the Netherlands is the highest authority in the world. But it could also signal that the post-war dream of international justice is failing.
If we didn't have these courts, if we didn't have these institutions, then we would clearly be in a worse situation because there wouldn't even be a standard that we could refer to say what is the correct form of behavior and what might be some forms of...
O yan mga kababayan ko. Kasi naman sa sobrang yabang kasi ng ICC, ayan nakakita ng katapat mga kababayan ko. Nakakita sila ng katapat. Amerika. Donald Trump. Netanyahu ng Israel, Prime Minister at Itong si Russian Vladimir Putin. Ngayon mga kababayan, may mga nagtatanong, ano naman ang epekto kay PRRD na nakakulong ngayon sa dahig? Malaki po mga kababayan ko. Pagka ang ICC ay na-deliberate mga kababayan, na na-liquidate ito at totally ma-erase na, sabi nga baka ito yung panahon na makalaya si PRRD kasi nga, pagka, di ba pinalawak na nga ni Donald Trump ito yung sanction Lahat po ng mga bank transaction, ultimo umorder ng brat panty, hindi na nila magawa. Ultimong mga anak nila na nag-aaral po sa Amerika, gustong pumunta kahit saan, via credit card, bank transaction, basta connected po sa ICC. Halimbawa, si Kimberly Pros, meron siyang kaibigan, nag-donate po dito sa kay Luz Ibanez. Nakita yung pangalan ni Kimberly Pros at Luz Ibanez, Kamirkan, ayun, black. Hindi nila magamit kahit mag-grab, taxi, anything that can be online transaction, hindi po sila makagalaw. So, para silang mga multo, mga kababayan, na nandun sila sa lumang panahon. Hindi sila makapunta sa train without using their bank transaction or credit card. Matindi po ito mga kababayan ko. Hindi sila makapagbayad ng tuition fee via online. So, kailangan po nilang mag-transact po ng cash to cash basis po dito. Lahat po ng kanilang gagawin sa immigration, sa airport, sa school, sa groceries, hindi po sila makagalaw mga kababayan. Kasi ngayon, nasa online transaction po tayo. Yung era po natin, mahihirapan kang gumalaw. Hindi na tayo panahon ni Kopong-Kopong na pwede kang sumakay na ibabayad mo yung yung kalabaw. Kailangan may, 'di ba ngayon hindi sa ibang bansa hindi naman uso na magdadala ng maraming pera Laging online 'yan. So ito pa lang Amerika, mayroong batas na anything that could happen to the American citizen na aarestuhin ng ICC that could lead to the destroy or to the end of the ICC court. Pwede po silang magera ng Amerika. Ganun po katindi ang batas na ginawa ni George W. Bush. Gumawa po ito nung taong 2002. Ayan, di ba? Ang naaaresto lang ng ICC, yung mga mahihina, gaya ng mga African leaders. Ang daming pinaano doon, di ba? Ngayon si PRRD naman na napolitika dito. Sila, itong grupo ni De Lima, si Trillanes, itong Beng Beng M na ito, mga pari, mga congressman, na ang tira nila si Sara, impeachment. Tapos may bali-balita, 90 billion na insertion sa BICAM ng national budget para pang pondo sa gagawin nilang impeachment ni Sara. O ano masasabi nyo dito? Kaya itong ICC, delikado na. Sabi nga, buti nga sa inyo. Akala nyo kayo yung walang tingnan nyo mga kababayan ko. Akala nila wala silang bahid ng dumi sa kanilang mga katawan. War against criminality daw itong ginawa ni PRRD na ginawa lang kanyang trabaho. In-eradicate yung mga criminal na mga addictus polboronic. O ngayon, makita nyo ang Pilipinas. Kaliwat kanan po, kahit tanghaling tapat, hindi na natutulog. 24/7 nag-aabutan. May tao o wala, nag-aabutan kasi mga bangag ng mga isipan. Kita nyo po yung mga ano ngayon. Napakarami mga biktima ng mga durugista ngayon mga kababayan. Okay po, ano masasabi nyo? Naku, makakalaya si PRRD. The end is near. Ang huling hantungan ng ICC. Mabubura na sa mundo. Sabi Trump sanction ICC for the targeting US-Israel. Napaka-close ally pa naman ng Amerika ang Israel. Napakalakas ang dalawang yan. Naku po, isipin nyo, napapalibutan ng Muslim Arab countries ang Israel. The only Christian in the central, diba? Nasa central yan Central Middle East yan, mga kababayan. Napapalibutan ng Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Iraq, Qatar, lahat po ng mga Arab countries napapalibutan po itong Israel na ito. The only ally of Israel is the America. So, they shared the same culture, mga kababayan. Kaya galit na galit yung mga Muslim dito sa Israel. Kaya gusto nilang tibagin, kaya ba nila? Maliit lang na bansa yung Israel, mga kababayan. Sinlaki lang po ng, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, Philippines. Pero napakalakas. Meron po silang yung armed forces nila, napakalakas po. Sinlakas po ng Amerika. May alay pa niya. Parang niyang the little brother ang tawag Israel and America. Itong Amerika, little brother niya, itong Israel. Mga kababayan, history po yan. Ever since, ang Amerika at Israel, para silang magkapatid. Sanggang dikit yan kahit anong mangyari. Ipagtatanggol ng Amerika itong Israel. Isipin nyo, ipapa-arrest nila si Netanyahu. Di pinaulan kayo ng dyan. Malalaking mga pasabog, di ba? Ang kayang-kaya nyo lang si PRRD. Kasi nga, mahina nga tayo We are the powerless country. They can't arrest the powerful country like Netanyahu and Russian Putin and Donald Trump. Di ba mga kababayan? Comment nyo po kung umabot kayo sa part na ito. I-comment nyo kung saan location po kayo, anong bansa kayo. Halimbawa po, I'm from Czechoslovakia. Kabayan, salamat. Re-replyin po kita. I'm from Europe. I'm from Germany. I'm from Alaska. I'm from Africa, Middle East. Diba? Re-replyin ko kayo isa-isa mga kababayan. Salamat po sa inyong suporta. Dumadami na po tayo. Malapit na po tayong mag 300,000. Paabutin nyo po ang ating subscribers. I-click nyo po yung notification bell para po sa tuwing mag-upload po tayo. Makikita nyo po. For transparency, for a better democracy. Lagi po tayong mag-update sa mga political issues, lalong-lalo na po international. Siyempre, nandyan si Tatay Digong. Ibabalita po natin lahat. Lahat ng mga problema sa Senado, sa politika, sa corruption, pag-uusapan po natin. Okay po? Ako si The Wonders Philippines. Mabuhay po. Yan lamang po ang ating bahagi ngayon.